The following may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Torrance Mohammed's eraser charged. Amon Repos man appeared in a virtual hearing before a San Fernando magistrate on Friday, charged with the murder of 84-year-old cultural icon Torrance Mohammed. Ryan Bihari, 32, of Navat Road, Mon Repos, was charged with the offense following advice received from Acting Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, Joan Honor Paul, on Thursday, June 3, 2021. According to reports, Torrance Mohammed of Taruba Road, Marabella, was visiting a friend in Mon Repos on Monday, May 24, 2021, when he was assaulted by a man who robbed him of a cellular phone and a gold chain. The assailant then pushed Mohammed onto the ground, causing him to sustain broken ribs and injuries to his back and spine. The man then escaped on foot. Mohammed was taken to hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries on Tuesday, May 25, 2021. Ryan Behari, the 32-year-old accused, was arrested at his home on Friday, May 28, 2021, by Homicide Bureau of Investigation, HBI officers, following investigation supervised by Inspector Mirage of the HBI Region 3. Behari was charged on Thursday, June 3, 2021, by Sergeant Maharaj of Mon Repos Police Station. Two owners and operators of a supermarket have been charged with operating their business in breach of the Emergency Powers No. 2 regulations. Shumin Zhao and Xiao Zhong of 162 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, were arrested this morning at Happiness Supermarket. According to reports, around 7:45 a.m. on Wednesday, 2nd of June 2021, members of the Northeastern Division Task Force, under the direction of Acting Senior Superintendent Winston Maharaj, were on patrol when they noticed that Happiness Supermarket at 162 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, was open for business. On checking, the police officers found that the owners and operators were not persons exempted under Regulation 14 of the Emergency Powers No. 2 Regulations 2021. Police officers immediately shut down the supermarket and arrested the two owners and operators. They were later charged by Acting Corporal Wendell Ramkisoon of the Northeastern Division Task Force. The two appeared virtually before a Port of Spain magistrate on Friday, 4th of June 2021. Ambulance services burdened with emergency calls. As the COVID-19 infection rate continues to soar, the National Ambulance Service remains burdened with emergency calls averaging 200 per day. Paul Anderson, CEO of Global Medical Response GMRTT, said requests for emergency ambulance services remains consistent as the previous month. GMRTT provides emergency medical and transportation services on behalf of the Ministry of Health using a combination of station-based and roving ambulance deployment strategies. Meanwhile, Universal Ambulance Services, a private company, continues to experience an increase in COVID-19 patients requesting their services. CEO Shabil Khan said that in the past week they received an average of 25 calls per day from families requesting transportation for COVID-19 patients from their homes to hospitals. Khan said people are also renting the company's oxygen concentrators for home care. Universal entry into the COVID-19 market came as infected patients complained that when they request an ambulance, it either takes hours to arrive or does not show up at all. Families who can afford it are willing to pay their own costs to transport their COVID-19 relatives to hospitals. Families are also requesting private ambulances for COVID-19 emergencies. One issue came around 3 a.m. on Monday when Christine Sumra went into labor at a relative's home in Point Fortin. When her family contacted an ambulance to take her to the San Fernando General Hospital, the dispatcher informed them that none were available. Security at the Point Fortin Hospital denied Sumra entry as the Ministry of Health recently converted it to a COVID-19 treatment facility. Sumra eventually gave birth on the roadside in Otaheite. During Wednesday's Ministry of Health COVID-19 update, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Rashan Parasram said the GMRTT ambulance was en route while the birth took place. Parasram said he could speak on the capacity of GMRTT. Anderson said that GMRTT has 48 ambulances, but following proper fleet management, all are never in operation at the same time. He said ambulances also have to undergo maintenance. Therefore, a third of the fleet is usually in reserve. We do not overuse the ambulances. We do not compromise routine repairs and preventative maintenance, Anderson said. Despite experimenting with different operational practices, GMRTT does not have a dedicated fleet to deal with COVID-19. Anderson said all ambulances could handle COVID-19 cases, and the company has a robust cleaning and decontamination process after providing services to COVID-19 patients. It is overwhelming, but we are not overwhelmed. I must say the staff has risen to the occasion. It is probably the most difficult thing they have faced in their careers. Hema Raghu sacrificed her life for her sister Selena, nursing her back to health after Selena got infected with the COVID-19 virus 5 weeks ago. Determined not to let her sister die, Hema sat at Selena's bedside praying fervently, feeding her sips of water, cooling off her high fever, and rubbing her back as she coughed up mucus and blood. But the doctors believe it was this sacrifice that cost Hema her life. After being hospitalized for 2 weeks, Hema, 36, of Princesstown, died at the Augustus Long Hospital in Pointe-à-Pierre on Thursday. Doctors tried valiantly to keep her alive. They inserted a tube in her throat to help with oxygen, but although she was given intensive care treatment, she succumbed to organ failure. Guardian Media first encountered Hema on May 10 when she frantically called the newsroom, saying she could not get an ambulance to take Selena to the hospital after she fell ill with a disease. Almost every day afterwards, she would provide updates on her family, several of whom had tested positive for COVID. On May 11, Hema wrote about her sister. She is feeling a little better. I get an oxygen tank. My auntie had one. I give her tea plus she eat a slice of bread. She sent that message with a happy face icon. A day later she wrote, she's not progressing good, so I took her to Princesstown Hospital. The doctor was really nice to us. On nights when Selena gasped for breath, Hema monitored her oxygen levels, staying up all night listening to her sister breathing while she slept. She would leave voice notes expressing thanks for the scriptures and words of comfort sent to her. Hema later confessed that she was feeling unwell, having come down with sore throat, body pains, and later a slight fever. I don't want to tell anyone to worry them, she said. Through it all, she continued caring for her family, making sure that everyone ate and that surfaces in the household were sanitized and clean. By then, 6 members of the family had tested positive. On May 17, Hema provided good news. My sister is feeling a lot better. A person from the Ministry of Health dropped a monitor to check oxygen. Just mommy was seeing a little difficulty in breathing, but we are feeling a lot better now. But as Selena got better, Hema got worse. On May 19, she left her final voice note. In between gasps, she muttered, I'm not feeling good. Oxygen only dropping. Just now my brother going to call the ambulance for me and my mother still in the hospital. She tested positive. That was the last time Guardian Media had contact with her. Speaking to Guardian Media, Selena said it was Hema's comfort and love that helped her during her illness. Selena said she got COVID after going to a bank in Princess Town. She later found out that 2 bank workers had tested positive in early May. I remember putting my wallet on the counter, and I may have touched my mask. Selena cried, adding, "It is because of me my sister died." During the days when she battled the virus, Selena said it was Hema's love that saw her through. Hema bring food and water. If I had pain, she coming to see. If I vomiting in the night, she sat down right there by the door. She carry me to the hospital and sit down there whole night in the trunk and wait until the next morning for me. When I saw her, she was crying and my eyes swell up. She say she rather die than me. Selena said she often warned Hema not to stay too long in the COVID-infected room. I say, "Hema, wear your gloves." I tell her, "When you drop the food, go back out. I don't want you to get this. It's not nice." And she experienced this worse than me, Selena sobbed. On Friday, May 21, a kind doctor at the San Fernando General Hospital allowed Hema to video call her family for the last time. She tell her mother that she loves her. She tell everybody home here that she loves us, and that was the last we ever see her, Selena said. Their mother, Chan, who was hospitalized for several days at the Point Fortin Hospital, was too distraught to speak on the death. Hema had been the one who took up responsibilities in the home, cooking, washing, cleaning, and driving Chan out if she needed to buy things for the house. Uncle Manohar Maharaj said the family was close-knit and Chan ensured that all 5 siblings grew up with love. This is heartbreaking to lose Hema. Right now we are trying to make arrangements for her funeral, but it is costing $800 per night to keep her at the funeral home, and we are being told that the next space available for cremation is in a month, Maharaj said. He described Hema as a light in the family. She was the most kind-hearted and warm person you will ever meet, truly self-sacrificing. She was the one who had to care for everyone who became sick, Manhomar said. The family is warning the public to take COVID seriously. Don't touch your face and sanitize. This is everywhere. You do not want to experience this. Please listen to the advice and stay home. When you lose a loved one, you never get to see them again. Please remember this, Maharaj said. Hema worked in an ice cream parlor in Princess Town, but lost her job after the pandemic hit. She had no children, but was very close to her nieces and nephews.